This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
The following program is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, it doesn't matter who the host is.
Hello and welcome to the all-new Rated R Safety Show. Today is Monday, November the 18th of 2019. Day 322 of the year, only 43 days left before we see the 2020. Anyways, how have you been? How was your weekend? Was everything fantastic over the weekend for you? Are you getting ready for the holidays? We're so close. So close. After this week, you get to see the show. Oh, yeah. Anyways, not much going on this neck of the woods as we speak. Now, today's episode, I got a message that I want to share with you at the very, very, very end. So please make sure that you're there for me at the very end of the show, because I got something special to share with you.
Bringing you information you never knew you cared about. Rated R Safety Show.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
University freedom protesters in Hong Kong created a fire barricade to keep police officers at bay who are using water cannons laced with blue dye to mark the demonstrators. Police made announcements they would start using live ammunition, but no shots have been fired. Over the weekend, protesters started lobbing Molotov cocktails at armored police vehicles, contributing to the escalating tensions. I feel this is not the first time that we've had this discussion, ladies and gentlemen, of people being sprayed with the blue water to mark who the demonstrators are. What do you think? Is it something that you deem important, that you find that it's one of those things that is very odd as people were tending to do this? Anyways, let's continue. Confluence of weather events have pushed the high tide in Venice 5 feet for 3 times in 1 week, an unprecedented record. CBS News notes that it's rare for 2 such levels over the course of a year, let alone a week. Stores and museums are closing in response. Street Marks Basilica has been closed and sandbags placed around the perimeter. So what do you think they're going to do to be able to protect the city, to protect these stores and museums? It's so important on what they're going to be able to do with it. Just a thought. Hewlett Packard was approached by Xerox earlier this month with an offer to buy the company out, valuing HP at $33.5 billion and offering both its stock and cash component with a bank and ready to offer finance. But HP execs rejected the offer over the weekend. They found the value too low despite coming in above its current market valuation of nearly $30 billion. So what do you think? Should HP or Hewlett Packard in this case take in Xerox's offer of $30 billion? It is a lot of money if you think about it. Wasn't it at one point that HP bought Compaq? But that was several years ago at this point. What do you think? Something should have been done. Saudi-owned Aramco is expected to list this week for public trading at an expected value of $1.7 trillion. The centrally controlled company is hoping to sell a small 1.5% in the hopes of drumming up just over $25 billion in cash. That money would go straight to the state's coffers as it looks to close a budget deficit. $1.7 trillion. Man, does that sound like a problem to have, huh? Good times there. What do you think? How would you handle it? A viral video of Popeyes workers in Milwaukee fighting with each other has led to the dismissal of 7 employees. The franchise owner says it was an isolated incident and that one of the 7 dismissals was the manager on duty at the time.
Now, have you tried this chicken sandwich? I mean, at this point, the conversation seems to be so different about this chicken sandwich. Is it really that good? I mean, I'm not going to go wait in line for an hour for a chicken sandwich. People have been stabbed for this sandwich. Now people getting into fights. Workers selling it on the side of the doorways. Doing illegal deals. Now 7 people fired over this chicken sandwich. Can't really be that good. Have you tried it? How good is it?
United Auto Workers have formally ratified their agreement with General Motors, covering employees in Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, Missouri, Illinois, and New York. EPI breaks down the details. In the deal, full-time workers will receive $9,000 ratification bonuses, to 3% annual raises, to 4% lump sum payments, and retain health care costs. Board won't increase pension obligations or payments to retirees, but will include a special retirement program that will improve workforce composition, lowering labor costs, the company said. Temporary employees will earn $3,500 bonuses. Board will have increased use of temporary employees, but there will be a guaranteed path to permanent full-time employment for them.
I feel like we've been talking about this United Workers, or let me say that again, United Auto Workers thing for quite some time. Looks like they're making some headway. Some headway. Not all headway, but something. What do you think?
Curiosity rover has detected oxygen levels of up to 30% on the Martian surface, a level that increases in the spring and summer seasons and can drop to nearly zero during other times of the year. NASA officials say they're perplexed and have not yet found a reason for the change.
I would definitely be concerned about these oxygen levels. Something to look into. Cray. Something that needs to be done right away.
A study by the American Heart Association reveals that intensive drug treatment is just as effective as surgeries to implement stents and efforts to open up blocked arteries. The study included over 5,000 patients and is one of the most comprehensive examinations of heart treatments ever.
Always interesting to hear about the American Heart Association. Don't you agree?
Duh.
Chashi Luz is hiking the cost of its monthly TV channel subscription package to $54.99, a sudden $10 increase. The change will go into effect next month.
I don't understand these different stories that are coming about, ladies and gentlemen. Like Hulu here, hiking the price up by $10. Didn't DirecTV, or what is now known as AT&T now, just do the same shit and cause them to lose a whole bunch of subscribers? And let's just be realistic. With Hulu jacking up this price for the live TV section, isn't this going to run people off to go to YouTube? YouTube TV, that is. And didn't Disney Plus just come out? $6.99? I mean, there'll be shows there that I can watch for $7, opposed to $55 man.
Protests have popped up in at least 100 cities in Iran for the country hike gas prices 50%. The supreme leader has denounced them as thugs and ordered an internet blackout across the country, shutting off 80 million from online access and also making it harder to determine how many riots remained in progress. Riots there included torching gas stations and vehicles.
So how do you feel like these gas hikes are going to have an effect over here on the mainland? It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Gosh, at least 9 people were shot at a backyard party in Fresno, California last night around 8 p.m. CDT. As a publication, authorities have not disclosed the number of deaths, if any.
Not really sure what to say on this news story. Especially for something that just happened we don't have a lot of information about.
Duh.
Let's continue. Over the weekend, there was no winners for the lottery. No winner on Friday night Mega Millions drawing. Tuesday drawing will be for $192 million jackpot or $129.3 million cash payout. And there was no winner for Saturday night's Powerball drawing. Wednesday's drawing will be for $80 million or $54.8 million cash payout. What do you think? Have you been playing? And if you have, how did it go? Weekend at the box office, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and tell you about this. Number 1. First off, I want to make a quick reference that it looks like the Terminator movie already dropped off of the top 10. But let's take it off the top 5 right here. And number 5, Playing with Fire, $1.9 million. That's down from number 3 from last week. Number 4, Last Christmas, $2 million, stayed at number 4. Number 3, Midway, $2.5 million. That's down from number 1. That cannot be number 1. Maybe it is number 1. I don't know. It's down from 1. Charlie's Angels, $3.1 million. That was a new movie that came out. That doesn't sound like a lot of money for a new movie. And Ford versus Ferrari, $10.9 million, getting the number 1 spot. On other side news, I want to point this out relatively quick. If you did not know this, today would be Mickey Mouse's 91 years of existence since the Disney cartoon was created. 91 years. Crazy. You would almost thought they would have released Disney Plus on that day. Anyways, let's talk about the days of the year that you can celebrate today. Apple Cider Day. Married to Scorpio Support Day. Mickey Mouse Day. What a surprise there, huh? National Princess Day. Push Button Phone Day. Occult Day. William Tell Day. Well, thank you for sticking with me all the way to the end of this right here. But I have something that I wanted to share with you. And let me tell you what it is. So, you might have wondered on why the episode today was called Deep Fakes. And we really did have a conversation about anything about deep fakes. Well, all of our news stories today were not read by me, with the exception of the lottery and what days you could celebrate in the Mickey Mouse story. Everything else was computer generated by a program that was mimicking my voice. Now, I did give you the information afterwards of what my thoughts were, but all the news stories were read by a computer. I want you to think about that. What kind of world are we getting into now where I can implement a deep fake on my own show and you might not be able to recognize it? Scary times.
Duh.
Anyways, you've been listening to the Rated R Safety Show. I know who you are. You know who I am. Love you. Mean it. Bye.
Duh.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.